It is quite windy outside, so I'm not certain how well this is going to turn out, but I have something that I want to show you, and I've been thinking about some passages in Ecclesiastes today, and so depending upon the wind and how it goes, we'll see how much I can share, because I do have to open my Bible, and this is not a passage of scripture that I have memorized. But I'm showing you the ground. As you can see, the leaves are down, right? Of course, evergreens, they don't lose their leaves, but today, as of the recording of this video, it is October 2nd. Now, I want to show you something that if you didn't see it with your own eyes, you might not believe it, but I'm going to pan up, and then I'm probably going to have to set the phone down so that I can actually read to you what I need to read to you, because I can't hold it where I need it to be. So I'm going to pan up. I want to show you something here. All right, see this? These are lilacs that are blooming. Now, there's not a lot of them, and of course the wind has picked up. There's a few more. Look at the yellow on the leaves that have not yet fallen. But this is insane. This is not normal. This is not how the plant is supposed to be. Lilacs are plants that bloom in the spring, but if you notice, look, with these up here, they're not actually, they're almost white, but this should be a light lavender color. But see how some of these, like, the color isn't even correct, which would tell me the plant isn't ready to produce again. That's not how it works. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to set this down here and let you look at some lovely evergreens and some lovely leaves while we chat here. And I'm going to sit on the ground so that you can hear me. That is leaves crunching, and I've got my Bible open. Okay, so as I mentioned, I had been gone a lot, and I looked out my window and I was like, no way is that lilacs. But of course it's a lilac bush. I knew it was a lilac bush, but I thought to myself, that can't be blooming, but it was. So I came out, and I've been focused and thinking about a passage, actually many verses, in Ecclesiastes since, and there's the wind blowing my pages of my Bible. All right, so I was thinking about the plant, and is it because of circumstances in the environment? Of course it is, but what have we done that would make a plant that's not supposed to bloom be blooming 6 months later? The plant seems to know it's not supposed to, because it's not fully bloomed. There's a portion, but I just don't think we should be messing with the way that God had created things to be. So I've been thinking about Ecclesiastes, and I am in chapter 3, and starting in verse 1, it says this: "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time of hate, a time of war and a time of peace." So thinking about this plant and just how it is blooming some in October, and yes, it's warm today, but this is just completely unheard of. And I just was thinking about this because there is a time to plant, there's a time to pluck, there's a time to bloom, and this isn't right. And so whatever has happened that would create this lilac bush to be blooming, and I certainly can't be the only one. I just was thinking about this, and so Ecclesiastes was on my mind, and I wanted to share it with all of you. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.